Hello, welcome to this update. So we now have an enhanced risk of severe weather in parts of New Jersey, Massachusetts, southern New York, and Connecticut, and not areas there. And then there's this big slight risk all the way from North Carolina up into Canada, and this big marginal surrounding the slight risk, like from Georgia, South Carolina, all the way up there into Quebec. So then we have these other areas here. First, this one in southern Arizona, a marginal, and then this one from New Mexico to Montana, another marginal, and this light in Montana and extreme western North Dakota there. So let's see. Tornado threats just 2% in the northeast, from Maryland to Maine, and wind threat 30% in the enhanced risk from New Jersey to Massachusetts, and 15% and 5%, and 15% in all the areas there. Hail 15% and 5% there, and hail just 5% there in the northeast. So let's see. Scattered damaging winds will be possible across parts of the northeast and mid-Atlantic states this afternoon and evening. Hail and damaging winds may also occur in parts of Montana and into western North Dakota. So be aware. Today, let's see for tomorrow here. Here, so there's a slight risk from Nebraska to North Dakota and parts of Wyoming to western Iowa and Minnesota. And there's this marginal in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama. And the general risk of thunderstorm and everything. So tornadoes actually 5% in Nebraska tomorrow and 2% as well in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, parts of Iowa. Hail is 15% and 5% and hatched there in Nebraska. Wind is also hatched in Nebraska and 15 and 5%. So let's see. Severe thunderstorms will be possible Monday across northern central plains, including parts of Nebraska and South Dakota. So be aware, and for the southeast too. Some wind, yeah, just wind threat in the southeast. And day 3. This is so slow here. Wait. Oh, here. So day 3 is light from Kansas to Iowa, in far western Illinois and northern Missouri, and this marginal from northern Texas to Wisconsin. Probabilistic just 5-15%. Severe thunderstorms are expected across parts of the upper Mississippi Valley and Central Plains mainly Tuesday afternoon and evening. So be aware. And let's see what else we have here. We already have a severe thunderstorm watch there in the northeast. And severe weather for day 4 through 8, there's nothing here. And let's see some mesoscale discussions, alright? And one thing is the fire threat. Day 1. Day 1, it's critical there in parts of Nevada, Utah, and those areas. Let's see if it loads. Yeah, so they have critical from Nevada to Utah, and this elevated from California to Wyoming, and that area for isolated dry thunderstorms in Utah, and Oregon, and California there. And day 2 here is elevated from parts of Oregon all the way to northwestern Arizona. So let's see here something else. The model for today here. So first, for the southeast, it shows some tropical thunderstorms in Florida, more this afternoon, thunderstorms in Florida there, and then dissipate by this evening. And there in other areas, we have some thunderstorms in Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, maybe we get some stronger ones too. Through some in South Carolina, some small thunderstorms in North Carolina and Virginia, even in Alabama maybe, and in those areas there. And then in the southwest, we have lots of showers from the monsoon in Mexico too, and especially Colorado there. Shows some thunderstorms this afternoon. Might be strong. And then more showers and maybe some storms in parts of Arizona and New Mexico. Some showers there too. And let's see further north. We have this low pressure there in parts of Wyoming, forming some storms this afternoon, especially Montana, some stronger storms this afternoon, going going east towards North Dakota, affecting parts of Saskatchewan and Alberta too. Some very strong storms showing Alberta, even southern British Columbia some, and then the storms continue there. Yeah, and let's see that the most important area now, the enhanced risk in the northeast. So we already have some strong storms in Quebec, in some areas of Maine and in New Brunswick there. So as the low pressure goes east there, shows more storms this afternoon in parts of eastern Quebec, and especially in New Brunswick there are some very strong storms in Maine and those areas, so be aware there. And some rain for Nova Scotia later on, maybe a thunderstorm or two. So let's see, for the main area here, we might have some more strong storms firing around New York, New Jersey there, and Pennsylvania some, but it'll be mainly this line that forms later over Connecticut and Massachusetts that will have more damaging winds there. So, and even this second line layer of stronger storms. So, and then even later by tonight we have still a line of storms there by Delaware and some other areas there. So be careful there, be aware. Let's see here. The warnings here, the severe thunderstorm watches, the excessive heat warnings, the heat advisories for today, the excessive heat warnings and watches in California, some air quality advisories. And let's see here, we have some flood watches there in Kansas and New Mexico and southwestern Colorado and Utah, some red flag warnings there. And then in parts of Arizona, some flood watches and some blowing dust advisories there showing southern Arizona. For Canada here, we have, wait, this has to update again. So we have these warnings in parts of Alberta and the Northwestern Territories for heat and air quality there. Some heat warnings in northern Alberta too. Let's see. The air quality advisories in the Northwestern Territories from all the wildfires. They say daytime temperatures up to 29 degrees in parts of northern Alberta. In Yukon too, some air quality advisories and special weather statements for high temperatures and a heat warning there. And let's see, this special weather statement there for smoke of wildfires, and especially there in New Brunswick and Quebec, where we have the stronger storms. The model pointed at more in New Brunswick this afternoon, so they have a severe thunderstorm watch. Conditions formed that around dangerous thunderstorms, but potentially producing damaging winds and large hail. Potential gusts near thunderstorms to 90 kilometers per hour or higher. Potential rainfall rates of 25 millimeters per hour or higher. Hail size between 1 and 2 centimeters. So this afternoon and evening, be aware, New Brunswick. And then there's this thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch in Quebec there. They say this morning and this afternoon will be for the development dangerous thunderstorms producing strong gusts and large hail and heavy rain. So be aware there in eastern Quebec, and they already have some severe thunderstorm warnings there in those red areas. So those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So be aware. And let's see the map for the US today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow. Precipitation for today, for tomorrow, for day 3, for Thursday, for day 4, for Friday, for day 6 Saturday, and for day 7 next Sunday. So let's see, days 1 through 7 shows more in the southeast, more in the plains, the southwest, and more areas too. So let's see, this nothing. Excessive rainfall today a marginal all the way from southern Florida to Massachusetts, so a big marginal. This marginal in Montana and parts of western North Dakota and even Saskatchewan. And let's see this light in southern Arizona affecting Mexico too, and this light in Colorado, New Mexico, and this marginal from Arizona to Nebraska. Day 2, this light in the southeast there, from North Carolina to Georgia, and this marginal, this big slide there in the Midwest, all the way from extreme northern Kansas to Ontario, and this marginal too, and that marginal in the southeast, no southwest. Let's see, day 3 a marginal there still, and a slight in the Midwest and marginal. Day 4 a slight in the plains and those areas, and a marginal from North Dakota to New York, and this marginal there. And day 5 just 2 marginals, so be aware. Let's see here. They have some heat news here between July 2nd and July 4th. The heat risk, and let's see. Some temperatures. So this is day 1 here. So even some 90s all the way up to Montana, 90s there, in the south 100s, the southwestern California 100s. Day 2, some 100s too, some 90s, a little bit milder there, but still some 100s in the plains and the southwest. Let's see, day 3, lots of 100s in Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas and New Mexico, and those 100s in the southwest all the way to Northern California. Day 4, let's see, still very hot. Day 5, still very hot, and even hotter in the southwest, 114, up all the way to 100 in Oregon. Let's see, day 6, still very hot. Day 7, still some 90s, 100s there in the east, 115 even the southwest, even to 98 in Washington, and 90s in the south. So let's see, the 24-hour max wind gusts, still windier in the plains, parts of the Rockies, and some other areas, especially with the thunderstorms, some strong winds. And let's see, 48-hour precipitation, and some forecasts. Let's see, these are the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Above average there in the west and southwest, and in the south and east too, above average. And the 8 to 14 day, still above average in most of the country. In the precipitation, day 6 to 10, some below average in the northwest and above average for the south and east. And day 8 to 14, still below average there, and above average in the southwest, south, and parts of the east. So let's see. Yes. Wait, let's see. Some hazards here maybe. So this is day 3 through 7 hazards here. So the browns are hazardous heat in the south, the plains, and parts of the east and southwest there. And the greens are heavy rain. Those like pinkish areas are flooding possible. And let's see. And mainly it and severe weather in the yellow there. And let's see if we can get day 8 through 14 here. So this is day 8 through 14. They still have some hazardous heat there, some even a moderate risk of hazardous heat above normal temperatures too, and some greens for heavy precipitation and rapid onset drought risk there. So let's see. Flooding possible in that gray area, the heat risk, and yes, this is mainly it. So let's see something here. Here, so the average temperatures, so we still have 0 shows those below average temperatures in parts of the northern US and Canada, and those above average there in Alaska and Canada, where we had those heat warnings, the above average there, and it keeps showing some below average temperatures there all the way to Mexico, and then by July 1st, still shows so below average and some above average there. So let's see some above average in Canada. And by July 4th, some below and above average. So this is short term. It shows like the the average and below average like every day. So let's see the GFS here. The GFS is more long term. Now let's see, shows those below averages in Canada and northern US, and the above average there in Alaska and northern Canada. Then those above average remain there, sometimes a little bit of below average, those above average in the Southwest and California there, and more stuff. So let's see, this is mainly it, so stay safe.